Enough of this, Wadsworth. Tell us what you know.
All right, fine. This has all become exhausting, and I suppose the butler's code is.
Everyone listen carefully, because with the help of all you clever detectives out there, I believe we have solved the mystery. I have Wadsworth here, and I am ready to announce the solution to the mystery of what you saw that night that gave you such concern.
Very good. Please go on.
Yes, as you know, I am a master detective myself, and not only have I solved all your riddles, but I have interrogated all your suspects and have pieced together every last clue and detail to come to this conclusion. One night, on the night in question, Colonel Mustard arrived at the school intent to help with an unknown type of project. Upon finding no one here and becoming quite hungry, Colonel Mustard decided to have a snack of sausages she brought with her. Colonel Mustard sat the meat down on a plate and then left to retrieve a small pot, or some might call a teapot, of French mustard that were stored in her room. At that very instant, Yvette, the minute maid, saw the sausages left in the lobby and cleared the room without ever being seen. She is a very, very fast maid. Mrs. Peacock then entered, smelling the sweet smoke of cured meat still lingering in the air. Colonel Mustard was returning, but soon realized the teapot was empty. Having forgotten, she finished the mustard earlier that week and let out a scream of both hunger and disappointment. Mrs. Peacock fled, and Colonel Mustard threw the teapot in frustration, ran down the hall, and left the parking lot looking quite annoyed. A most concerning scene if ever there has been one. No wonder you wanted to report it, Wadsworth.
Wow. Just wow. I must say that is an incredible job.
Thank you.
Incredible as in unbelievable how you could get it so wrong. That is not even close to the correct solution. What detective training do you have again?
It's not correct. I thought I had it all down. Where could I have gone wrong? It's not the solution. Then I'm afraid I must insist you tell us right now. No more of these puzzles or clues.
All right, fine. This has all become exhausting, and I suppose the butler's code is more of a guideline anyway. I will tell you.
Yes, please. Go ahead then.
Well, here is the real solution. On the night in question, I began to buttle a bit earlier than normal. I do this sometimes and call it a bitty buttle.
A bitty buttle?
Yes, a bitty buttle. Anyhow, as I looked into the office, I noticed Professor Plum standing over a cauldron, laughing and muttering. Oh, what a surprise I have for this school. Yes, they're all going to get it now. All of them. Wow, I couldn't believe what I was seeing. After all, Professor Plum is normally plum delightful. But I wasn't the only witness. At that very moment, I saw Mrs. White enter, take one look at the scene, and let out an ear-piercing scream that she took off at a run down the hallway. Well, I had seen enough and ended my evening's bitty buttle right then. I decided to return the next day and alert you, fulfilling my duty as the butler to protect and serve this school.
Unbelievable, Wadsworth. Professor Plum standing over a cauldron and saying the whole school is in for it? That story is amazing and unnerving. I must thank you for your service to this school. Let's get Professor Plum in here right now and get to the bottom of this.
Yes, you called?
Yes, Professor Plum. Have you heard what Wadsworth has just reported to me about you standing over a cauldron in the office cackling? What do you have to say for yourself?
Well, Wadsworth essentially has everything correct.
Aha! So you admit it.
Yes, though I would say it wasn't a cauldron I was using, so much as a big pot. You see, I've been planning a special project for the staff. I was using the big pot to practice and get the recipe just right.
Wait, what? You were standing over a big pot mixing things that you want to hand out to everyone? That sounds plumb delightful. What was it that Wadworth told us you were muttering? Oh, what a surprise I have in store for this school. Yes, they're all going to get it now, all of them. Ah ha ha ha. Oh, I suppose that does make sense. And check out if you were making a treat for everyone. Plus, we have all those extra treats I've been handing out this week. They must have been your practice batches. And what about Miss White? What did she see that caused such a fright, sending her screaming and running?
Oh, that? I had just spilled a little from the pot out onto the ground by stirring too hard. Mrs. White saw the mess, and you know how serious she is about cleanliness. Well, she screamed and ran down the hall back to her room to find some cleaning products. Mrs. Peacock must have heard the scream and left before seeing anything else.
And what about Colonel Mustard looking annoyed?
Oh, I believe that was from me setting a plate of sample treats on his desk. I didn't know he was cutting back on sugar, and I believe the gesture caused him to leave right away, looking annoyed.
Well, that does wrap the solution up into a nice little bow.